You'll never kill me. Ooh. Relax. Oh my god, relax.
Too much, fam. Don't give him too much, fam. Don't give him too much, fam.
AJ the Cypher Cat. Started dancing from very young, younger than what I thought.
As a little kid, Adrian never used to keep still. He's always been interested in music, and he always used to watch dance videos, and he used to copy stuff like Usher's moves. That was his first thing that I always used to see him doing, just flinging his feet up in there, doing the one-handed handstand.
Dad showed me like actual breaking battles and competitions, and then from there I just was like, yeah, I want to be doing that. That's what I want to do when I'm older. I want to be a part of Red Bull and IB and all these battles.
Picked it up pretty quickly. He's like a natural to it. But he was like natural with everything, because at that time he did the class. He was doing that class. He was doing karate, and he was doing football. And every class or whatever he did, they all wanted him to do that. But he just took a shine from dancing more. You know, I asked him what he wanted to do, because I can't afford all these things. So you're gonna have to pick one of them. And he was like, dancing.
Breaking, I just think with Asia, he was little and we tried him with a lot of different sports, because you could just tell he was that kind of child that needed something to focus on. So we did try him with a lot of things, but when it came to the breaking, I felt like he wanted to do it. He was interested, he used to play the game, he liked the music, and I feel like it kind of helped him challenge his energy into not just following the crowd and what's happening around him. It kind of made him focus and think, well, I like this and I'm going to do this, and I want to get to where these guys are getting to. Then he come across IBE, and then that was it. He was fully focused. He always used to say to me from when he was little, I'm going there, I'm going to dance there, I want to go there. With Asian, when it comes to his training, he kind of trained himself when he was little 24/7, because he was always dancing. So it was never getting him to get up and train or dance, it was more structuring him. He's always trained himself, but then his dad kind of gave him a better structure instead of just wasting his time, burning out his energy, just doing everything all at the time. We kind of had to help him just break it down and say, okay, well, focus on this and let's build up that. But as for training, he's always got up and did it. We normally have to tell him to stop, have a break, you're injured, give your body time to breathe, and so it's always just been a mover.
And it wasn't that when I had Mohawk and the green, whose t-shirt was that?
Street Scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Street Scientist. Back a day.
It's like around the times when everyone started leaving, where it was like, oh, I'm just by myself, and then started, I wouldn't say I was slacking, but it was like I started slowing down on my training and stuff. And then my dad always would be like, nah, you can't just give up the training because of what other people are doing. Like, he would always put me back on the straight path. It would remind me what my goals were when I was younger and just re-inspire me basically.
I used to be into something on the wrong side, innit? Like on the wrong side of the law and all that stuff there. Yeah. And one time, people came on the area shooting and stuff, and he was outside, and the shopkeeper had to grab him and like put him to one side and like get him out of the way of the shooting and stuff. So I think that was another focus for me to make sure that like this doesn't happen again, and he stayed focused because he was already dancing then at that stage. So he's had a few scrapes himself where he's been in and around the thing, so it's not like he's never saw like the other side of stuff, and he's just been straight now. He's seen it and said, I don't want to be into that stuff himself. So he's got a strong mind, like from a young child, and like I've guided him, but he's always had this strong mind all the way for himself. Trying to remember all them years. I was like 13 years old.
So Benji, I'm AJ's uncle, first uncle. Yeah. So I've seen AJ come from small, I held him in my hands, little baby, to growing up to the man he is today.
To be fair, when he was younger, he was always out and about on the estate. He wasn't doing nothing bad, but he was just out. He didn't really have anything to keep his attention. And then when he started to do breaking, you never used to see him unless you come to the house. And then even when he's in the house, he's practicing. His dad got him doing head spins and freezes and all sorts of stuff that I don't really too tough know about. And from then, you've seen him grow into somebody who's travelled the world. He's teaching. He's grown into a very respectable and well-liked young man.
There's not many young black kids doing anything nowadays, so for him to be doing his breaking and stuff, that can push other people. He's probably brought himself out a bit more, do you know what I mean, expressing himself more, do you know what I mean, so I think it's just good for him anyway, just to push himself into something that's gonna make him a better person.
It's so easy to choose the wrong path, but it goes down to what's the environment, what are you seeing. So for him to have a passion and then stick to that passion and focus on that passion is quite admirable, really. For younger people to see another young person achieving those sort of goals and travelling where he's travelled, being across the world, been further than I've been, places I'd like to go. So for not just young people, old people, to see someone doing that as a young black man, hats off to him.
Growing up in Wolverhampton, hard for everybody. I think if you come from a working class background, which it predominantly is in this city, it's very hard. So for him to aspire and grow and get to where he has is amazing. It's not easy, like I say, there's so much criminal and gang activity going on in the city that for young people it is hard, and for him to be able to do something which was a hobby and turn it into something which can be an outlet for him to grow other young people is one of the better stories that come out of the city, really. And I don't think something that he does, which is like arty, really, it doesn't get as much as much credit as if he was like a footballer or something like that that's really active and people can see it. They don't get as much recognition, certain things, and like the arts, especially like the black arts as well, it's not easy, and they just don't get as much recognition.
You gotta give it to his mentality. Yes, it is hard, but if you got the right mentality, then you can pretty much focus and do what your dreams are. So yeah, the roots aren't there for him, which again, hats off down to his determination, because in Wolverhampton and many cities across the UK, there's not much help for that sort of craft, that sort of art. So for him to get where he's got to today, from Wolverhampton, flying the flag for Wolverhampton, is a great achievement, and hopefully long may it continue.
Some of the guys that have got caught up in a few of the situations, and they always say to me, I wish I stuck at breaking, I wish I stuck at these, you know, I wish I could have done what Asian's done. They also say to me, Asian's made it. It's quite heartbreaking because that opportunity is there for everybody if they've just got the chance. So sometimes I have to kind of say to them that, yeah, Asian's done really good, but everybody can do that if you just stick to it and focus and just work through it. They know we're here for them, but when we haven't got the training spots and we can't say to them, oh, come here and be here at this date, it's hard for them to turn up and want to do it. And then plus they have their own life issues and money as well. If we could have a bit more funding so these kids wouldn't have to think about other things that are holding them back from focusing, they would do it. They say it to me all the time. Just last month, I was talking to one of the guys, and he says if things was a bit better, he would have stuck to it. The whole, okay, this hip-hop generation, because it's not just the dancing. We've got guys that are into the media, we have guys that want to do their music, and I've said to them a number of times, I've been going to these meetings for about 6 years, and I've been saying locally, if they could give us one building where we could be centred, it would work better because they know each other and they would work. The energy would be good for them to be working around each other, just giving them that place to feel, you know, this is where we're at. Lately, round here, our young ones have been told they can't even stand outside. They're not allowed on the parks, not allowed on the ramps. Where they're meant to go then if they can't do that? So it is frustrating, but we just have to keep pushing. He's doing something that he likes, and I can actually see the happiness coming out of him. He's inspired, he loves to do it, he likes to be around the breakers. It's a good feeling, and it just reassures you as a parent that you're doing a good job. If he's happy and he's doing something, I don't think there's a better feeling as being a parent.
Definitely, I will second that. And obviously you see me on the lines there backing it and doing all of that. Yeah, so I'm actually living it with him as well, because I'm always training him or taking him to all the workshops and all that, and hearing what he needs to do to get better from the judges and people in the workshops and that. So when I see him actually doing it and making progress, there's no words I can't explain it. Just feel it in my heart.
I think you feel that a lot more with Asian as well because of your music background. You've always done what you've loved rather than what you need. You know,
what people say, try and say do this, because when you're doing your passion or you're starting something, you're not making money. So when people are out there making money and doing what they're doing, they're always looking at you like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing that for if you're not making no money? But I've always stuck to my guns in it, and that's what I've tried to push to AJ. You'll get there and start making money, and you won't have to look over your shoulder and all that stuff there. He's done better than me because I went that way, and he hasn't gone that way.
Around here, Asian definitely inspires people to follow their dreams and do stuff. Like when he did the Red Bull, a lot of these was like, wow, so I can't believe Asia's done that. I was stuck to it, and it just makes them question themselves and think, you know what, it made me believe that I can do something. A couple of the guys have said to me, you know, they've took up their own passions like decorating and chefing. So they're kind of seeing that, okay, we come from here, but we can do something and we can be somebody and get out there and, you know, show the world what we're about. And I've always said to Asian, it doesn't matter where you come from or where you passed it, it's all about where you're going. Just put in the work. And I think that kind of shows. I think everybody can see, when you see him on the floor, it does make you question, oh, little old Asian from Wolverhampton, how is he moving like that? Even me sometimes as a parent, it does shock me, but I know that that's just him being able to have that space to develop. And if every child has that space to develop and push and be seeing the things what he's seeing, it'll make them better. So yeah, he's a really good inspiration.
When you're doing something that you enjoy, just do it. That's all I can say. Just do it. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. Doesn't matter about nothing that anyone else says. Like, I've been not bullied, but people have tried to bully me. They can't bully me because I'll just fight. But I swear, I used to fight every day. I'll be fighting because of people saying stuff to me about dance, this, that. But just don't ever give up what you want to do. Like anything that you want to do, just push for it.